Well, hi everybody and welcome to Crossville. I am Lindsey and Waldrep, and we are here doing our own version of coffee talk, if you will, at the Bold Blends Barista Parlor here in the Crossville booth at Surfaces. Our theme for Surfaces 2018 is indeed blends, and we're all about mixing style, colors, and textures to make a statement in design. And we have two of today's best interior designers, Christopher Kennedy and Kerrie Kelly, here to talk right about that. So thank you guys so much for showing up today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start with you, Christopher.
Okay.
You are known for your jet-set take on mid-century modernism. How do you blend the iconic looks of 1950s Palm Springs with today's taste to keep things contemporary?
That is a good question. How much time do we have? Because
got
I have a whole
however-
book on it called Making Mid-Century Modern. You can buy it on Amazon, shameless plug.
Very good.
We give you 100 tips to do just that. But for me, mid-century, a lot of our clients lived through the mid-century, and they don't want to look like they've gone back in time or are living in a time capsule. So for me, it's always about being inspired by the past, but mixing in pieces from today. One of my little secrets I'll give you is I like to use like clean Italian modern upholstery mixed with the case goods and the chairs from the vintage era to give a look that's really fresh and now.
Now, one of the things that you guys may not know about is that these two fabulous designers have done show houses where Crossville has been a sponsor of, and Christopher used one of our products last year in the Modernism Week show house called Altered State, which is indeed very kind of sexy, slick, minimalistic look, right?
It is. I do love modern. I went to school for architecture, so I've been like a modernist since my school days. I went to Europe to study the Bauhaus and the Modern Masters, so I guess it was fate that I found my way to Palm Springs and that my business is based there. But I do love a bit of 70s, like David Hicks. He's my style icon, and the Altered State with that pattern, with the chevron pattern that you can create that we did do in the show house is one of my favorites, and I kind of think of David Hicks whenever I see that pattern.
Yeah.
Love it. Now, Kerrie,
Yes.
California wine country has always been an enclave of stylish and easy to live interiors. Speaking of books, you have a new book coming out, California Style, a wine and design tour. Hello, don't we all want to be on that
Yes,
tour?
please.
Yes.
So your book's coming out this year. What are some elements of wine country style that can be blended in designs coast to coast?
I feel like you guys are doing it right here. I mean, we have this texture elements that through tile that maybe look textured, but you touch them and they're easy to clean, low maintenance. So the monochromatic hues that you see here, and then you've even turned wood on its end to have this stylistic approach, but still keep it very organic and natural. There were a lot of woods incorporated, and obviously our white kitchens and farmhouse looks throughout the Napa Valley, but I think now we're looking for something even more and maybe a little more moody, like you see here. So keeping things interesting, still neutral, but in a different way. I think there's a whole acceptance of a range of neutrals that are happening, like navy blue, charcoal, honey tones mixed with the charcoals, and still feeling very classic at the same time.
I love it. For anybody who's watching out there, just so you know, what we've got behind us is our panel collection in more Desir polish that picks up on those meaty blacks and those golden honeys with just a little bit of charcoal blended in.
And you guys have also done so well here where you're mixing the matte finishes with the glossy finishes.
Yes.
I mean, I think that
It's all about the matte these
creates
days.
the
Absolutely.
interest. Yeah.
You know, there is so much style to see at a show like Surfaces. Beyond the matte, what are some of the new looks that you love?
You want to start?
I'll start. I'm in love with the gauged porcelain tile panels. Can't get enough. You guys are doing it so well. I don't see anyone doing this like moody black. We see lots of the neutrals, the beiges and the whites, which God knows I love, but I definitely love the big panels. I think customers are really responding in the ease and the durability and the cleanability.
Yeah, for sure. That livable approach like you're talking about. You guys have, just around the corner, maybe we can look at that a little bit later, literally turned wood on its end.
Uh-huh.
So we're so used to seeing these wood planks in tile format, which is great livable wise, but the interest when you turn it on its end and show that saw cut there where we see that end and make it more decorative, I think that's a great add to the collection.
Absolutely, and I think textures.
Oh, gosh,
I'm a simple guy. I like things clean and modern. But something I get asked by every client I specify tile for is it going to be slippery?
Yeah.
Because we live in Palm Springs, there's lots of pools. And I say, well, hopefully you're going to dry off when you get out of the pool, but if you're an animal and we're raised in a barn and maybe you don't dry off,
We have something for you.
We do have something for you. Like everything is slippery and wet. Hate to tell you.
Yeah.
Concrete, wood,
Well,
but so the textures, because I like things clean. I like to create a clean foundation for my interiors. We use lots of color, lots of shapes, lots of geometric, bold patterns, lots of bold artwork. So I kind of like my tiles to be a bit more neutral.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a simple guy, but the texture rather than just the visual pattern for me is what's really exciting.
And with that, having your large format tiles that you provide, and then within the same collection, having 1x1s and 2x2s to create that shower pan, so we
Absolutely.
can carry the look through without bringing some random piece in to make something like that work is a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
Where you live is so about indoor, outdoor living
Yes.
with the large nano walls and opening up your space. Definitely. Where I live, where we make our tile, I heard it snowed yesterday, so
Oh, dear.
we're not yet ready for that.
Palm Springs is always waiting for you.
Yeah,
so is wine
exactly.
country.
Absolutely.
And another plug, if you guys aren't aware, in 2 weeks is Modernism Week out in Palm Springs. So, yes, and Christopher's involved with that. Crossville will be there as well. So, if you're cold and chilly at home and you can't make
Need
it
to
out to
thaw out.
Modernism Week, tune in, go to our website, you'll see pictures, it'll warm you right up.
Yeah.
Both of you guys have really great takes on mixing in historic references, and we've talked a little bit about that. What are some tile looks that you wish would make a comeback?
I'm
If
not
you
sure.
tell me pink 4x4s, I'm going to fall out.
No, I'm not there.
I'm not going to tell you that. I do love a glass mosaic, and everyone does it really well. You guys do it very well. I don't think it ever left, so it's been around, but I like to use it sort of in the old school style where, like, we have this bank in Palm Springs, I can send you a picture, and a whole outside wall of the bank is covered in glass mosaic tile. And I like to take the glass mosaic and just use it everywhere in a bathroom. Like, I don't really do a whole lot of borders and inlays. I hate to tell the big box stores of the world, but I like to take one pretty material and use it throughout the bathroom. And why not create a spa-like bathroom like the Romans would have done, or in the 1950s they would have done, and use that glass mosaic on the floor of the bathroom, flow into the floor of the shower, use it on the walls, just create a really seamless spa-like environment out of the same material. So to me, maybe it's more about the application of a classic material that I'd like to see make a comeback.
And I like the look of dimensional tile. I know I'm going into this zone over here, but to create an impact wall, even if we're all monochromatic at the same time, to have a bit of dimension, whether
Yes.
that's through texture or an actual dimensional tile. Every time I walk by something like that, that's striking, it really
Right.
takes me in.
And here at the show, I am seeing some of that. Like, we do a lot of 1960s homes that are being renovated, and they had like dimensional 4x4s.
Yep.
In pink or in aqua blue. I'm like, why isn't anyone making these? And I'm seeing a few vendors doing
we
it,
tour
so
the
maybe
show.
it's
Yeah.
slowly making a comeback.
Yeah.
I
Not
think
so much the pink. Oh,
only
the
if
pink
it's
is big.
millennial pink.
Yeah.
It
Only
has
if
to-
it's millennial pink, then
millennial
it's
pink.
okay.
That's
Yes.
blush.
It is blush.
Blush or canyon clay or any of those types of colors. You just got to have a little more red.
In Palm
in it.
Springs in the 80s, it was Desert Rose, and a
Yes.
classy decorator named Steve Chase invented millennial pink. May he rest in peace. Yes.
I don't think pink will ever go out of style where you guys live.
Yeah.
But from that, what tile looks do you specifically like to mix together, since we're talking about bold blends, with other surfaces or with other tiles? What do you like to mix it up with it?
I love a great walnut, just butting that up to some of your marbles. So marble aesthetic, and then having that walnut, just contrast, not only contrast of material, but contrast of color in that way. I think, again, using that organic, something from the outdoors coming in, indoors out, but still being very timeless, especially with those big pieces like your kitchen
Right.
island and kitchen shelving and all the elements that really stick with the house for a long time when you're making those decisions to have something in that classic vein.
I would agree. I do love white and walnut. There's a whole chapter in my new book on it. Thank you, Kerrie, for stealing that
I was
line.
teeing you up.
Thanks for reading the book. I appreciate it.
Page
I knew you were
94.
plugging me, and I really, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say white with lacquer. I do love the gauged porcelain slab tiles, or porcelain tile panels. And we just did a beautiful bathroom in the white marble look of the porcelain panels with a really pretty mushroom gray lacquer as the cabinet fronts
Yeah.
and some acrylic cabinet pulls with some really pretty gold embellishment, and it's beautiful.
That
Gorgeous.
sounds incredibly sexy.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm a lacquer gal myself. I live a little bit unlacquerable lifestyle.
Just a
but
touch, just a touch.
Just a touch, and above the chair rail, places where my dog can't get.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good. So like I mentioned before, both of you guys have worked with Crossville on show homes in the past. Tell us about how you select tile for your projects and some of the thought process that goes into selection. Do you start with it? Do you end with it? Do you just go, oh my gosh, I'm done looking at fabric and I need a brain break? How does this all come together?
Wow.
Well, you guys set the backdrop.
You
You're
do.
the backdrop
Actually,
for the
I
whole
start with
design.
it. Yeah.
Whether floors, walls, everything. So I think it starts with an interview of our client and their lifestyle.
Absolutely. I mean,
then-
all the show homes I produce in Palm Springs are very, very real houses for real people. They're not spec, they're not sold. We have homeowners who open their doors to us and bring in some of the best designers in the world, the best brands of the world like Crossville. And so we really want to make sure that it suits them, but obviously is inspirational for the thousands of people who tour the home and the millions who see it on social media and in print. So we really begin with the hard surfaces, and I actually pick everything and then let the designers come in and furnish each room. But we begin with the materials, absolutely, because it's truly the backdrop. It's from the ground up.
For sure. And I mean, you saw the Lisa Pejou house for a traditional home. With that, she's a farmer because she has that wine business, but she's also a fashionista. So to be able to have a black and white backdrop for her and then layer on those other pretties, I mean, it just lets everything shine in that way.
The bath that Kerrie's referring to is a case study on our website. Hey, we plug a mile a minute here. So crossvilleinc.com, take a look at Kerrie's bathroom that's in there. So basically what I hear you saying is start with your tiles, start with your foundational elements. And I'm sure that's advice you would give to any homeowner out here looking at a DIY or going into their retailer and sourcing things. Don't get distracted by
calling their
some of
designer.
the accessories.
Call your designer, but I really think that truly, I mean, getting that foundation right. I've had clients, or I know clients who wanted to keep like a Mexican Saltillo tile floor, which is wonderful when I'm in Puerto Vallarta or at the Mexican restaurant. And it was very in fashion in Palm Springs in the 80s when everything was sort of Santa Fe, and they wanted to keep this floor for the expensive budget, and we're really going to spend so much money trying to make working around it. Just get this foundation right. You're not going to regret it. Spend the money.
Thank you later.
Get the ceramic or the porcelain tiles. Get that foundation right, and then go from there. Buy the expensive sofa in a year if you need to, but get the basics down.
Yeah.
And in our world, our porcelain tile panels can just go right over that Saltillo tile.
Okay.
Easy peasy, beautiful. Don't even have to renovate. Other than that, say a homeowner walks into a kitchen and bath showroom or to a tile showroom and they're offering design on site to work on, say, a smaller renovation. What tips would you have for that individual on working with the retailer when it comes to their own design process? Anything that you've learned over the years in working with some of your local sourcing and local providers that you could share with them on how to make selecting tile for their projects the best possible experience?
Well, I think the vendors and the retailers are a great resource, and I rely on them myself because, I think as interior designers, we really have to be experts in everything, don't we, Kerrie?
Sure.
We have to know about upholstery, we have to know about, lighting, LED codes, I mean, on and on. I mean, landscaping, it's about, shipping and, international freight. I mean, we really... It's amazing how much we have to know about as interior designers, so we can't keep up on everything. And the local retailers are really getting that product knowledge. They're learning from the vendors like Crossville. So, I mean, I look to those people too to give me good advice on what's new, how is this practical, how is it durable. So I think that there's a great resource in those stores, and listen to them and then go with your gut. If you like what they show you the first time, you're probably going to like it the 1000th time that you see it. So go with your gut, but do listen to the experts.
And I think be realistic with your lifestyle. Something may look beautiful, but may not speak to how you live in your home. So get real with that. And then if you can bring pictures to your designer or to your retailer, a picture speaks 1,000 words. You may think in your mind, oh, I'm modern. And when we look at the picture, it's like, actually, you're transitional or traditional. And so I think there are buzzwords out there that people latch on to that maybe not be truly describing the aesthetic they're trying to achieve. So pictures help always.
Do you ever ask anybody to pull their favorite outfit out of their closet and start from there?
I would do that, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I go in the closet and just look. I don't even ask.
Exactly.
I mean, I just let myself in. Yeah, so absolutely.
I had a kind of a fashion revelation the other day. I was like, I really love this. And then I was like, That would never work for me. I would be done before I ever even got into the office. So yeah, you do have to be very honest with how you live and how you want your space to be and how much maintenance maybe you are willing to put in.
Right.
Some people love to clean. Not me. Not me. So we got to think about that. So you guys are known as trend spotters. I know when at High Point Market and at Vegas Market, you guys do some of that as well and see and publish. What are some of the up and coming trends in design that people should consider boldly blending into their current interiors to keep things fresh?
Wow.
Well, I think we have part of
Go
it
ahead.
behind us. We have these moody tones
I think so.
paired with honey tones. We've said since 2010 that navy blue is the new neutral or the color of the decade. And
Well,
I
you
think,
called that years ago. To give
thank
credit
you.
where credit's due.
And look at you.
I did the blue just for you. Is it Kerrie blue?
Yes.
I tried. Okay,
But
good.
I think with that, we're allowing a range of neutrals that were never considered before to come
Absolutely.
into the home that we feel really good about.
Right.
For sure. What
Absolutely.
other trends do you see?
I'd like to see, or can we talk about trends we would like to maybe not see?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Up and coming
Yes.
trends.
Yeah.
So
You can talk about up and coming or
Up and
things that you
coming.
wish would leave.
Go away. Yeah.
I
go
think
away.
that I'm a little tired of gray. I still use gray, but I don't think that everything needs to be gray.
Are we talking cool grays
I-
versus or warm grays or just
all
all
of
gray?
the above,
All gray.
my darling. Yeah, I like mixing gray and brown. I think that's okay. I think brown has had a bad rap. Kerrie mentioned walnut earlier. I like mixing gray and brown together. It's like, for a man wearing, brown shoes and a gray suit.
Yep.
So I think that adds a lot of warmth, and a lot of these gray and white kitchens are getting a little bit soulless and like a little bit, I saw it on Pinterest. Can I recreate that? So I'd like to see brown kind of make a comeback in the interior.
Yeah. And
And some
everyone that
warmth come
has
back.
these white kitchens, I think
Yeah.
they're looking to add some warmth or
Yeah.
to add some contrast like a navy blue.
Right.
So
I love it. All of a sudden, I want to reupholster all of my bar stools navy blue in my gray kitchen that I feel like I need an update to now.
No.
It's okay. I do have brushed gold
I do gray
poles.
kitchens a lot.
Yeah, and I've
then-
had those for 3 years.
And speaking
I
of
felt very
kitchens,
trendy.
since your materials go in kitchens and bathrooms and all over the house, I did read something that the colorful kitchen is the new status symbol. And I will say I just did a peacock blue lacquer kitchen with a gauge porcelain panel countertop in black, and it's quite fantastic. Yeah.
I love blue lacquered kitchen
Mm-hmm.
cabinets.
Yeah,
I
gorgeous.
really, really do. And I love them with warming things up a little bit like a calicotta gold
Mm-hmm.
marble look panel to it to bring in those honey tones.
Yes.
I do secretly covet a hot pink schmeg refrigerator somewhere in my house.
yeah.
Just did an aqua blue one in a hotel.
There, see,
I knew I liked you.
I see. Yeah, these are some of my deep dark design secrets, guys.
I love it.
So speaking of that, I'm excited about colorful kitchens. What are each of you, last question, most excited about for design in 2018? What has gotten you this January like, woo, I can't wait for this to happen? Or a project, a product, a look, a feel?
A look, a feel. I'm actually enjoying the 80s coming back. As a kid who grew up in the 80s, like there's some lighting fixtures. I was at she's laughing at me. I was at this vendor at at Las Vegas Market yesterday, and these like 80s crystal swag chandeliers straight out of like a ballroom,
Yeah.
and in the Merv Griffin Hotel in 1984 are making a comeback, but not just in clear crystal, in gray and like a deep rosy color. And I'm like, wow. So the 80s are back, I think, mixing in. And I think the pink has been a big part of that. And the Miami Vice look coming back a little bit. I think a little bit of 80s glamour when people kind of got dressed up and men could take pride in their appearances and wear shoulder pads and not just like wear camouflage all the time. And like,
Cargo
Don
shorts.
Johnson made things cool. I think that, being a little bit cool and edgy again is exciting in that kind of 80s slick kind of way.
We're going to have to break out some vintage Halston.
Yeah.
I'm
there you
excited
go.
for
I
that.
know.
Absolutely. I love the innovation that's happening. I can't believe what we're doing with digital printing. I mean, and
Yeah.
as we talk about it, every time I'm saying, pinch me, I can't even believe this is happening kind of thing. So innovation with materials, whether it's an area rug for outdoor use or it's a tile here
Right.
that goes below it, that can create a seamless aesthetic from indoors to out. I think outdoor living, especially being from California, year round, is just that added square footage to the
Right.
home, and you can do that with tiles like this. And
Right.
in so many materials
Absolutely.
now that we weren't able to do before.
Absolutely. Or even if you're in Crossville, using those materials that can go outside,
Yeah.
but make your life easier inside
Absolutely.
is key.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys so much. Do you have
Thank you.
anything else? Any other deep, meaningful thoughts that you want to add here while we're at Surfaces?
Deep, meaningful thoughts.
Or things we need to look at? Is you have a book, your book is out. Anything else coming out that we need to look for throughout the next 6 months from you guys? You heard it first?
I'm just going to follow our social channels, and I think we'll keep you
we'll
up to
cover it
date.
there. Lots of outdoor living going on for us, like I had just mentioned with Fazy Rugs. We just launched a rug line, and Coyote Outdoor Living, so there's furniture there. So we're putting together all the layers to
Fantastic.
make your life easy. So we'll
Love
continue
it.
to do that.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining
Yeah.
us. Thank you for everybody who tuned
you for
in or
having us.
catches up with us as we post on to our social media channels. We've had a really great time, and we'll see you throughout the show with other Facebook Live sessions. Have a great day.